Welcome to the new Honda ZR-V. This sits somewhere between the CR-V and the HR-V, although it officially sits in the same class as the CR-V in Australia, according to Vbox anyway. 4 main models are on sale here, ranging from the VTi X, VTi L, and VTi LX, with a range-topping LX hybrid option. Here we're testing the mid-level VTi L. It looks pretty good. It's neat and tidy, especially at the back, with a nicely curved tailgate. But the front grille looks a bit odd in our opinion. All models are front-wheel drive, which could deter some buyers in this class, as many rivals are offered with all-wheel drive, at least as an option. Despite being front-wheel drive, the rear end features a comprehensive multi-link suspension setup, which is great for driving dynamics. You also have 186mm of ground clearance, so it can be driven on rough dirt roads and so on without too much trouble. The VTi L comes with these dark grey 18-inch alloy wheels, wrapped in 225/55 Yokohama Advan tyres. Grip is not an issue in the dry or wet, but obviously they are not designed for serious off-road driving. Inside, Honda has applied its latest interior styling philosophy, headlined by the full-width grille piece that runs across the dash. It's a pleasant layout, not too complicated or overwhelming, and yeah, build quality is good with decent passenger space. The touchscreen is pretty basic, but it's very user-friendly, and it includes Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All the touch points feel really nice, and the driving position is spot on as well. Up at the back, rear passengers are treated with climate vents, twin charging ports, and an armrest with cup holders. It's a comfortable place, with decent headroom and acceptable legroom for this class. The completely flat floor really helps with middle seat space as well. Boot space is not that bad, but it's far from class leading. 380 litres is similar to what you get in a Hyundai i30 hatchback, for example. But the flat floor, storage pocket on the side, and some underfloor sections help out. The boot height is also at a very convenient level, so you can just slide items straight in and out. As for the engine, this is the same 1.5 litre turbo petrol 4-cylinder that's found in the Civic. It might be small, but it actually goes alright. 131 kilowatts is pretty impressive from a standard 1.5 engine. The ZR-V is relatively light in weight too, at 1,439 kilograms. Fuel economy is also pretty good, including in the real world. Out on the road, the handling feels pretty tight. It feels like a Honda, and it's got this nice sports steering wheel as well. The ride comfort is absorbent, not too firm. It seems to soak up these country roads really well. Visibility is good. I can see easily all around. These A-pillars are quite thin, so you can see through them, and the mirror is placed a bit further back, so you can see past in between the pillar and the mirror there. But yeah, overall visibility through the front is really good. Even through the back, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's a decent windscreen at the back there, so you can see through. It's just the rear headrests do poke up a bit if you've got them all the way raised up. There is a bit of a rattle here from the door, I'm not sure if you can hear that. But aside from that, the rest of the cabin it feels really well made. It cruises nicely at 100 kilometers an hour, with just under 2,000 RPM in the normal D mode. There is an S mode as well, but as you'll see in the performance testing, it's not actually quicker, it's just more responsive. It is a bit disappointing, there's a CVT gearbox here, but you do have paddle shifters, which kind of add some sportiness, I guess, and some engagement, but it doesn't work like a normal automatic. For example, I can put it into top gear and then just floor it, and it will pick up and build the revs anyway. I really like the handling. Yeah, it does have a little bit of body roll, but it makes it feel like you can throw it around a bit and use that weight shift to your advantage, like tip it into the corner and settle it, apply a bit of power, and it's a very nice steering vehicle. There is a bit of road roar, especially on coarse surfaces like this, and I can hear a bit of turbulence around that side mirror, especially when you're traveling at 80 kilometers an hour or above. Our fuel economy average is 7.5. That's over a distance of 507 kilometers so far, but I have seen it dip below 7 into the 6s before we did the performance testing. So you could expect a real world average of between 6.5 to 7, depending on how you drive and depending on where you drive. If you're in the city most of the time, then it's going to be a bit higher, whereas if you're out on the country roads like this, I think you should be able to get in the low 6s pretty easily. Across patchy surfaces like this, the suspension does well to keep the wheel on the ground at all times, so it's quite compliant, and there's no bump steer, so the steering stays nice and straight.